Hey folks, okay, so Tim DeMella. This is a short video. I want to make sure that everybody understood this. When you get to a certain point along this path and these steps, um, it's usually around the eighth or ninth step, you come to start realizing that there was never anything called grace or sin. Not in the way the world, religions and stuff call it out to be. Why is this? Because, um, and I think if Paul, the Apostle Paul, I think if he lived far enough, long enough, he would have probably realized this as well. Um, it's because grace is only something that that a person who feels unworthy believes he or she needs. Somebody who will never be good enough for that omnipotent being, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to put on a pedestal. Um, and that is uh, um, so that's no, you are already, once you get on this path. All right, you are maturing, you are learning, you are growing. Okay, and there's no thing called, well, I'll give you grace this time, or you're not perfect. Oh well, you're mediocre. Okay, but you better do better next time, type of thing. There's nothing like that. It's nothing like that. There's no grace. It's just, I want you to be happy and to get to understanding. Um, I want you to get to the eighth step of accept. I want you to get there so that you can see all this stuff clearly and you realize that I wanted to be with you. I wanted to join with you. Um, it wasn't about grace. It was just about following your presence and just keep doing it. And if you say, well, I messed up, I need grace. Okay, well, then I'll give you grace. If that's what you think you need, fine, to keep going, then I'll give you that, okay? But you're going to find out later on that there was no such thing ever as grace. Okay. Sin, same thing. Okay, you needed grace because you thought you sinned. No, no, sorry. Same thing, same thing, same thing. There's only really one sin, and that's seeing inside nobody. What does that mean, seeing inside nobody? It's when you were in the world. And you were staying in the world, and you were investing yourself in the world and everything, what was going on. Staying an infant all your life, with the big egos and everything. You were disconnected. You weren't connected to your presence. Well, I mean, you didn't have anything in you that you saw. You felt like a pit. You were in a pit or whatever, like I did. And so you couldn't see inside anybody else. You didn't know what to see. You couldn't identify it because you couldn't identify anything in you. So if there's any sin, it's while you were in the world, not being able to see inside nobody, including yourself. Okay, because there was nothing there. It's when you got out of the world and you started becoming aware, and then you starting to believe in that unconditionally loving presence, that presence that is unconditional love itself, and could be nothing else. That is when you were no longer sinning. Okay, there were still the remnants in your brain of, oh, I'm not perfect, I'm not doing right, da 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 da, all that and I talk about this in the earlier videos, all the pesky flies and the distracting thoughts and all that still in your brain. And then you realize later that that was not, that there is no sin, that there is no um, grace. It's only was given to you because the presence thought you wouldn't continue if you weren't thinking that way. Just like when Jesus is talking to all the people, the disciples, and everything, right? They were Jewish. They wanted. They had certain things inside them that they just weren't going to give up. And so Jesus said, "Well, look, I realize that they're not going to, so I'm going to talk to them in certain ways that only a Jewish person with that kind of would understand, and would get them to continue moving forward and not kill themselves, and continue moving forward. Some of these people were suicidal. Some of these people, I mean, they were miserable, scared, terrified to go into the second stage, and most of them left before they could, before they would do that. So that's why I was wanting to tell you about grace and sin. The world, that's another way you'll know if people continue to talk about sin, to talk about grace and things like that. You know that they have not gotten to the eighth step of accept, and so just don't listen to it because they've never gone there themselves. Um, and they're trying to tell you how to live, and they've never even made an attempt at life. So I'm just letting you know. Okay. All right. Love you. Talk to you later.